Hi, I am Pushkaraj Shirke and today I'll be talking about is fit healthy? I know a lot of people directly ask the first question is what are you kidding? Is there a difference between fit and healthy? Well, yes, there is. A fit person is one who is proper for a specific activity. For example, fit enough to climb the Everest, fit enough to climb the stairs, fit enough to run a mile, fit enough to be the best boxer in the world. Fit is a comparative method of judgment. Whether a person is physically capable of doing a specific activity. But generally, when we use the term fit, we're talking about general physical preparedness. Fit is being able to do certain tasks that you might be required to do in your day-to-day life every day, or play a sport. If you're an athlete, are you prepared to play that sport? Are you physically capable of doing that? If you are, you're considered fit. If, for example, if I was a Spartan and I had to fight a war, if I could run, fight, sustain myself through hardships over a long period of time, yes, I would be considered fit, right? Fit and healthy is not the same thing. A healthy person is one who is technically would put it as metabolically perfect, or having perfect metabolism needed for that organism, free of all pathological illnesses that the body can have. For example, a person with diabetes is not healthy, but can a person with diabetes be fit? Yes, he can. For example, I would take my own example right now. Am I healthy? No, I have genetic osteoporosis, but am I fit? Yes, absolutely I am. I can deadlift way over my body weight, I can squat over my body weight, I can overhead press over my body weight, I can run, climb, do any activity that I want to. So yes, I would be fit, but would I be classified as healthy? No, but that's how it goes. A healthy person need not always be fit, and a fit person need not always be healthy. There is a give and take, right? The thing is, there are some factors that you can take control of, and there are some factors that you cannot take control of. For example, in being healthy, there are some factors that are genetically sort of gifted to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But a lot of factors you can take care of: the lifestyle you lead, the exercises you do, the food you eat, the way you treat your body and yourself, the rest and relaxation you get, the amount you stress yourself. All these are factors that you can control. Same thing with goes with being fit. If I'm born with polio, there's nothing I can do about it. If I'm born with genetic osteoporosis, there's nothing I can do about it. But despite having these factors, can I still train myself, nutrition myself, take care of myself to be the fittest I can be despite that shortcoming? Yes, I can. There are amazing bodybuilders in India itself who have polio and yet demonstrate physiques that are capable of standing on the international bodybuilding platform. There are lots of Paralympic athletes. There are people like Oscar Pistorius would now be a bad example, but yet he did not have both his legs, and he was still the fastest man on earth without legs. So yes, you can be fit despite of your shortcomings. So fit and healthy need not always overlap, but you can take control of how fit or how healthy you are in your life. Now, a lot of people ask me that is there a trade-off between being fit and healthy? For example, I chase fitness like a lunatic. Okay, there are people who, in their quest for fitness, for example, professional athletes, are on a lot of heavy nutrition and steroids and GH and peptides and a lot of stuff that they deem necessary to be part of their sport, to excel at their sport. Now you need to understand that this is the mindset of an athlete. This is an athlete you're talking about. You cannot expect the same performance from an F1 car as you expect from the Luna or the Fiat running on your road. Okay, you're looking at good mileage from a street car, you're looking at amazing performance from an F1 car. Similarly, when an athlete is competing, he's like that F1 car. No, he does not need the headlights. No, he does not need that comfortable two people sitting behind him. No, he does not need a stick shift on the side or sliding windows that come down. What he needs is pure functionality. What he needs is purely to excel at what he does. And therefore, he's willing to push that barrier and be the best at what he does. And he's willing to pay the price for it. Is there a trade-off? Yes. Most often there is. The lifestyle they have to lead is extremely rigorous. An athlete's lifestyle is extremely rigorous. Not everybody gets it easy. I hardly think any athlete would ever get it easy. Even cricketers whom we do not actually look up at as athletes still have to maintain a very rigorous lifestyle. At least the best ones do. And the ones who are at the top of the game and still not maintaining a rigorous athletic lifestyle, would actually do much better if they actually did push their limits. Okay. A lot of people say all these athletes and all these professional bodybuilders are constantly on steroids. Is it not healthy? Well, partially I would agree it is not healthy. Yes, but neither is being on drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes year long. Personally, I think being on steroids all year long would be safer than being on drugs, alcohol, and cigarette all year long. All right. Most people eat the most unhealthy diets possible, the most carb-fueled, high GI diets possible every day, and they tell people who are athletes that why are you living like this? This is not healthy. ये खाएगा तो कैसा जिएगा? They see a person taking protein powders to stay fit, a competing athlete, okay, who is way fitter than them, taking a protein shake, and they'll point out to that person and say, "ये क्या खा रहा है बेटा?" As in, what is this you're eating? Eat natural food. And these people who talk about natural foods are the people who, funnily, are consuming the most unnatural foods possible. These people talking about natural foods are the ones eating breads and jams on a daily basis, calling it natural. Now, all those breads, corn wasn't in human existence for the past, since before the past 200 years as such. Corn is a cash crop produced, literally produced, mass produced by America as a cash crop, and now the world is drowned in corn. You cannot go to the superstore without finding a single product that does not have corn. It's extremely rare. There are products which do not have corn, but most of the products you go and pick up and it will have corn syrup extract, corn in some way or another. And that's all carbs you're talking about. So where is the natural food? All the jams you're eating are confectionery, synthetic dyes, synthetic sugars. So what natural are these people talking about? I have no idea. So fit and healthy may not always mean the same thing, but there is no such thing that a fit person cannot be healthy and a healthy person cannot be fit. It's all about what are you willing to do for it, what are your goals. At the end of the day, it all comes down to you. Are you fit enough to live the kind of life you're trying to live? Are you fit enough to go out and do the things that you wanted to do in life? If yes you are, then you are fit. Even if you're fat and 95 and 200 kgs, but you can do all the things that you really want to do in life, you're fit and you're worthy of living that life, right? It's amazing, and I don't see why you should not change. But yes, if you are 95 to 100 kgs and you cannot do all the things that you wish you could have done, you're not fit, and you really need to get a reality check and get things under control. Same thing goes for being healthy. For example, for me, if I have osteoporosis, there's nothing I can do about it right now, less other than get into heavyweight training and try to compensate for all the bone density loss that I go through on a regular basis to keep it up. And I have to take that into my own hands. Same goes for a lot of my clients who have diabetes, right? Diabetes is something that allows a lot of other things to creep in. Like, hardly anybody dies of diabetes itself. Diabetes always causes some other thing which will cause the eventual demise of the person. Whether it's a heart attack, whether it's some organ failure or something, it's always a lead on. Diabetes is the core cause. Alright? So when these people control their diabetes, get into a fitter lifestyle, get into a healthier lifestyle, maintain their diets, follow a proper diet, get their training on track, they're actually helping themselves get healthier. Okay? By getting fitter, they're helping themselves get healthier. So there is a positive correlation to that, and that is what people need to work on. You need to find that balance between fit and healthy, which is good for you, and pursue that. Not use it as an excuse, not use it as something you can name call at, oh, fit people are not healthy or healthy people cannot be fit. And get out of that misconception, chase what you want in life and get that. And get a good trainer or consultant to tell you how to do that. Don't just randomly read magazines, go to the media and see crap and read celebrity journals, because all of that is utter bullshit and crap. Alright? I hope this helped you a lot, and I'll keep making more of these. There are a lot of chapters to cover in my ebook that I'm trying to do called Project Battle Ready. Basically, it was a book I started for someone I love to make sure that she has the best in life when it comes to her looking after her own health and fitness. So it's all about health, fitness, training, martial arts, and everything that she could probably use in life. It's sort of my gift to her, and I hope it reaches her. And this is Pushkaraj Shirke signing off for my first episode on my laptop, and I hope you liked it. Share it if you love it.